if I'm Jaylen Brown, you know what I'm doing? I'm finding the voters, and I'm gonna say, hey, you know what? I'm gonna give you $5. If you vote for me, I'm gonna give you $5,000. I'm gonna give. You know what? I'm gonna give you $25,000 to vote for me, because think of the money he just made potentially. Now, again, if I'm the Celtics, I'm not giving him an offer of 5 years, $290 million.
No.
I'm not doing it. No way in hell.
No.
I think the great debate. I think the great barroom debate with this team right now is the one we just touched on. And I don't know if there's a right answer. I mean, I tend to go with Jeff because I'm very impatient, and I think that there is a window in the NBA. But an argument can be made that you keep the 25-year-olds together. But that is the great debate for this team.
But they don't work great together. Like, haven't we seen this enough to know that is not going to change?
Yeah, no, maybe I misspoke. They were not great together. What you're trying to do is maybe in the hope because of their youth. I'm done with the experiment. Okay, I'm done. I don't think they can play together.
I mean, you've surrounded them with two guys in Brogdon and White who do move the ball, who do play team ball. It's not like, again, now, could you have a better point guard for them? Maybe, but like, give me the point guards who are ball movers these days. Like, there aren't as many as we think. There's scoring point guards. Again, I love Marcus Smart like Bob does for all the reasons, the toughness, the defense, all of it, the passion. Is he the best thing for this group?
No.
Maybe not. Maybe not.
I mean, the frustrating thing, and Bob, I'll toss this to you. The frustrating thing about Marcus is he can be. We have seen it. We've seen the halves where he has 10 assists and a turnover, you know. But where I saw Marcus as a liability during the playoffs is if the Celtics need a final shot, they seal everybody else off and they let Marcus shoot it.
Yeah, well, of course you would.
You know, so do you think Marcus is a liability? Do you want to keep Marcus, or is he on the market?
I don't think he's a liability. I think he's a flawed gem. He's not a perfect player. He has great strengths, and he's a flawed. We know that, and we've learned. As you guys both know,
I know you love him.
Anyone that's listened to me, fulminate the last 5 years with him. I have long since made peace with his flaws, and I'm willing to. He's not going to get better anymore now. I think he figured out how to play ultimately last year in the second half of the year when he actually became a legitimate point guard, as you just alluded to. And this is as good as he's going to be, and I can live with this. It's like I always equated him to Jackie Bradley Jr. I was his last fan in Boston, apparently. And for this, I learned to live with the bad as well as the good. Here's what he is to me, and I'm willing to live with it. Is now in the best of all possible worlds, we drive down 220 miles and we kidnap a certain left-handed point guard whose father grew up in Greater Boston, but I guess that's not going to be possible. So that's the guy you're talking about, Jeff. Is the guy in New York that I thought they overpaid for is exactly what you're talking about. That would be some addition to the Celtics.
Imagine if you had a guy like Brunson running this team right now.
Brunson himself, he's exactly what you're talking about, but he's not going anywhere. He's in New York. So there you go. I don't know who else is like that.
So the other one, Lillard, Beal. Again, you mentioned Trae Young only because here's the issue right now is Jaylen Brown's got 1 year left in his deal. So a lot of these teams aren't going to trade for him. Mm-hmm. Even Portland. You're not trading for Jaylen Brown and rolling the dice that he's going to leave.
Would they sign him? Would Portland sign him?
Well, that's the thing. You'd have to either know that you're gonna get him long term, and I don't think Portland. I just don't see Jaylen Brown. Maybe he would just because he wants to be the number one guy in a place like Portland. But Atlanta, he grew up obviously in the area. It makes sense from that standpoint. The problem is, again, I don't want Trae Young, number one. So then what are you looking at? DeAndre Hunter, some combination of like DeAndre Hunter, if they still had Kevin Huerter, that was a rumor a couple of years ago, which I really liked and everybody killed me for it, was DeAndre Hunter, Kevin Huerter, and a couple number one picks, unprotected picks. I liked that a couple of years ago because Huerter can shoot the hell out of the ball. Hunter's an elite defender who I think could average, 17 a game. He may not be, but he's honestly, he's probably as good as Jaylen overall as a player because of his defense. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what else you do at this point, but I don't pay him 5 years and $290 million.
CLNS Media's Celtics coverage is brought to you by FanDuel. New customers get a no-sweat first bet up to $1,000. That's bonus bets back if your first bet doesn't win.